1968 Utah State Amateur Champion. At one time, it was felt that winning medalist honors at the State Amateur was the kiss of death, kind of like winning the par 3 tournament at the Masters. You can't be the medalist and Utah Amateur Champion. Well, Tom Christensen, among many others, proved that thought just a myth. In 1968, Christensen, then a 20-year-old from Ogden who played college golf at the University of Houston, defeated Doug Vilvan in a playoff for medalist and then went on to beat the Weather and Arlen Peacock 4-3 to claim the trophy. The wet weather reduced the championship match from a scheduled 36 holes to an 18-hole final. Along the way, Christensen defeated Jack Ridd, Max Fillmore, Ike Hall, Jack Noble in the semifinals, and then Arlen Peacock. "40 years ago, Mitch Heyer, 1978 Utah State Amateur Champion. Then an unknown IRS agent, now a 2-time Utah State Amateur Champion, Mitch Heyer captured his first State Am trophy 40 years ago at the age of 26. He was unsung, unheralded, and unknown in Utah's golfing circles, and Heyer waltzed into the 1978 State Am Championship at Ogden Golf and Country Club as a real Walter Mitty-type player, and he then went home with the Salt Lake Tribune Trophy after defeating Jack Noble 10-9. To prove he was no Cinderella story, Heyer, the Blonde Bomber, returned the following year and won again, right here at Oak Ridge Country Club, saying, quote, "I don't have anything left to prove now," end quote. 30 years ago, Bruce Brockbank, 1988 Utah State Amateur Champion. In 1988, Bruce Brockbank returned to the State Amateurs Winner's Circle, this time at Oak Ridge Country Club after defeating Devin DeLynn 6-5 in the championship match. The 24-year-old Brockbank won the stroke play qualifying by 5 strokes over BYU teammate John Baker and then cruised his way to the Winner's Circle. For Brockbank, it was a fitting end to a spectacular State Amateur career that left him with a lifetime match play record with 19 wins against only 4 losses. "20 years ago, Darren Overson, 1998 Utah State Amateur Champion. In 1998, the Utah Golf Association celebrated the 100-year anniversary of the Utah State Amateur and its centennial champion, Darren Overson. The UGA did the 100th Amateur upright, selecting Riverside Country Club as the host course for the championship and creating a celebratory atmosphere, including a banquet to honor past champions and publishing the 100 Years of the Utah State Amateur book. Overson provided the UGA with a worthy champion, becoming one of the very few who had won the State Amateur in their first try. Overson was the Local Boy Makes Good Story of the Year. He was also a starter at Riverside and had been working for head pro Robert MacArthur since he was 15 years old. The 23-year-old collegiate player who transferred from Colorado State University to Utah Valley State College was the locals' favorite. Overson did not disappoint as he beat the more experienced Steve Brinton, holding off the State Am veteran 5-4 to add his name to the State Amateur Trophy. 2000. Savorine Summerhays. Long before he became a PGA Tour veteran, having amassed more than $9.6 million in prize money over 7 seasons, Daniel Summerhays was once a bright-eyed teenager who came from one of Utah's most well-known golfing families. It was during those teenage years that Summerhays made his mark in Utah golf history books, shocking just about everyone, including himself, by winning the 102nd Utah State Amateur Championship in July 2000 at his home course, Oak Ridge Country Club. The scheduled 36-hole championship match came to a close on the 13th hole, the 31st hole of the match, with a 6-5 Summerhays victory over defending champion Billy Harvey. It capped off an incredible week of play, where he only had one of his matches go to the 18th hole. What made his win so improbable was that Summerhays was only 16 years old. The only State Amateur champion younger is the legendary George Von Elm, best known for beating Bobby Jones in the 1926 United States Amateur. Von Elm won the State Am as a 15-year-old in 1917. Not only did Summerhays put his name in the same realm of Von Elm with that victory, he also won the Utah State Amateur at a club which his family belonged and at a course where he had played countless times. Moreover, it was the same course that his uncle Bruce won the State Amateur title 34 years earlier in 1966. 10 years ago, Dan Horner, 2008 Utah State Amateur Champion. It took a few extra holes to get it done, but then 30-year-old Dan Horner raised the Utah State Amateur Trophy up high and said, "What an incredible match." Horner edged Utah State golfer Devin Daniels in a 38-hole final to become the 110th champion of the world's oldest continuously held tournament. In one of the longest championship matches in the long and storied history of this tournament, Horner won with a par on the second sudden death playoff hole. The championship match had been tied after 9, 18, 27, and 36 holes at Soldier Hollow Golf Course. It took birdies to win holes until at the last, the Silver Course's second hole. The 9-hour and 20-minute marathon is remembered for some spectacular shot making, precise putting, and the gutty determination of two evenly matched players.